Good evening, everyone. This is Moondog Matt from your Unbearable 73 channel. Just waiting for the audio check to come in. Basically, I'm just doing a short live stream reaction, post reaction to TNA Against All Odds. I finally was able to watch it between yesterday and today. I'll have something like this for Clash. The audio is good. So this should be a long video. If anyone showed up for the live chat, it's cool. If not, not worried about that. So what do we got here? So our first match was Sami Callihan. Let's call up the list on. Matter of fact, let's call up the list. Share screen. There we go. And there we go. So you guys can see it now. So our first now, if you follow back to my prognostication video, right? I had mentioned that the first three matches should have been on the pre-show, okay? Because they're really relatively, they're card filler outers type of things. But I will have some thoughts on them, okay? So the first two are on the pre-show. So let's talk about Sami Callihan versus Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus. What is the point of this match in any way, shape, or form? Here's the deal. Jonathan Gresham, from my understanding, just did a character change where he's become possessed by a Lovecraftian entity. He's the octopus. He's spewing dark gunk. He's making people sick in matches. He just came out of an asylum. So they just did this big change for him, right? Right? Then they put him on the pre-show, and then they have him lose to Sami Callihan. What is the point of this? Okay? Maybe they just did this to squash the character. He's going to go back to being Jonathan Gresham because no one likes the octopus. I mean, that would be the only logical reason for doing this, because if you're giving a guy a push with a new character, you have to let them, you have to do you can't let them just be jobbed out at the very beginning of a preliminary event. So that was stupid. Next match, the Militia versus the Hex. This is I'm sure this has some meaning for the tag team TNA Knockout World Tag Team Champions. Blah blah blah. Very beautiful women, all four of them. It's obvious that this whole thing with Alicia being in the system and Masha not being in is like awkward. They should just bring Masha into the system so your female tag team champions can be in the system, not have this awkwardness going on. Although it's a good match, but relatively small scale in the things. Next match, Steve Maclin and Mike Santana defeat the Rascals. Now, I like this match from an in-ring storytelling point of view, okay? And I get that they're pushing Maclin and Santana right now, okay? So that's probably why they had this match and open. And it's a good kind, but it didn't feel. This should have been against, like, I don't know who they could have brought in besides the Rascals, okay? Because the Rascals are like a younger team, is my understanding. And Maclin and Santana are two guys who have been around a while. They worked well together. It just felt the story for this match was off, okay? So let's go to PCO versus Rich Swann. This should have been this is a good second match. PCO is being pushed right now. He's being built up. He's basically going to squash people. That's what this was. And then they had the sort of romance. So PCO is going to get his valet, his Miss Elizabeth, as it were. That was okay. No problem that was there. Now we get to our nitty-gritty matches, okay? I don't understand why. I mean, unless we're just going to keep the system is like the court, unless they're making the same mistake they did WWE with the corporation, with the system, where it's going to steamroll everyone. I'll have the same complaint about the Moose match later, right? The Nemeth brothers should have won this, okay? For the story to advance, right now the story is over. There's no point for the Nemeth brothers. They've been defeated by the system. The system has won. What's the point of them fighting them again? Hey, DJ Mario G. Yeah, so no problem. You have to. I'm doing some a little more wrestling content. I've been watching again for the past few months, and TNA. So this is about the TNA PLE or PPV pay-per-view, but they're really not so much pay-per-view anymore. The premium live events like UFC, where you get them on their streaming channels and whatever. So this was TNA's that they had on Friday, which was called Against All Odds. And I'm just giving. I do a pre-video where I give my picks and my thoughts on the matches, and I do a post, and I do it as a live stream because I'm not interested in producing a complicated video about this. So, and for those who don't know, like DJ Ryan D, TNA Impact is I guess you would call them one of the tier 2 wrestling groups. So tier 1 is basically the WWE. AEW is kind of borderline tier 1, tier 2. Then pure tier 2 would be like New Japan, Impact, few others out there. Ring of Honor, sort of, is that true for. And what I mean by tier 1, tier 2 is in terms of market penetration. WWE has the biggest market penetration. They're on TV, they're on cable, they're on streaming, they're on social media. They're at the top. AEW is trying to rise to that point. In some ways, is getting there, but they're not a legit competitor yet. So they're somewhere between the tier 2 and tier 1. Tier 2s have established online presences, are making money in that sense, and you can see them by going online in some fashion, right? And tier 3s are the ones you have to have local access, or if they post their stuff on social media, or order videos or DVDs from them. Right? So Impact is like a tier 2, TNA Impact. So so there's no point with this system matchup if you're not going to give the titles to the Nemeth brothers, so they can. I mean, what is the point? I don't understand the storytelling logic behind having the Nemeths lose here. Okay. Next match: Frankie Kazarian and Joe Hendry. What are they thinking? Okay. So Kazarian is like 45 years old. Hendry is like 35. Hendry is being given a big push. Okay, he is. He's gone over on his own with some songs that are actually charting in social media terms. His theme song, among other things. So he has a catchy theme. He's a handsome fellow. He's really good in the ring. So he's on the way up. He's about 35 years old, right? He's getting a push, and he's on the way up. He's gonna right. Kazarian is an established TNA legend. Okay, he is there. There's no reason, just no reason for him to win this. Well, the only one would be if Hendry. I'm gonna do a little typing here. So let's see if we can. I want to take a look. See here. Is Joe Hendry's contract ending? Okay, Joe Hendry's on a short-term deal. He's got a long-term deal after Bound for Glory in 22. So the only question is, the only reason for Kazarian to win this, well, there'll be two. I guess you would say there would be two. Okay. Either this is the start of a feud, which I don't think it is, or Hendry is leaving TNA. His contract is up. He's gonna sign with probably AEW or WWE. More likely WWE, because that is the only logical reason why you put have Kazarian pin him, basically win clean. So if Hendry is going to be one of the future guys in your company, Kazarian, as an older veteran, should have put him over. Okay, so that was a stupid. I don't understand the outcome of the match. So Mustafa Ali versus Trent Seven happened exactly as I put. This literally should have been earlier in the card. This was a very good match. I would open with this one, to be honest. Get you into it, and the reason I would open with it is because the storyline is relatively irrelevant. It was basically an opportunity for Ali to become more and more of a heel. Okay, and they did good. They did a good job with that, right? But I feel it should have been earlier in the card. Next match: ABC versus Eric Young and Josh Alexander. Again, I don't understand why this match is here. It's not a title match. There's no, they could. As a matter of fact, they should have swapped this with the fifth one. Have the tag team title match here. Why is it a non-tag team title match by older guys like Eric Young and Josh Alexander against ABC. I mean, ABC won. It's obviously a push for them. Okay, fine. But the storytelling just doesn't make sense in the way you lay the pay-per-view out. Now we get to our two big matches, okay? Jordan Grace and Tatum Paxley versus Tatum Paxley, and then Moose. I'm going to go to the last match first, okay? Now, as far as quality of the match, it was pretty good. It was what they call a system rules, which means like it's a hardcore match, basically. There was some stilted like I would say the first 5 minutes was a little slow. The ending was a little predictable, and Matt Hardy's, I guess his wife or whatever, from the point that she arrived, the whole ending was utterly predictable, right? So here's my question, right? Moose doesn't need a win here, okay? Moose is over as a champ, over as a heel, right? Broken Matt Hardy is a big asset, okay? And spoilers, Jeff Hardy returns at the end because basically Hendry runs out. It looks like they're going to form an alliance between the Hardys and Hendry and maybe the Nemeth as a 5-man versus, the system with someone else. That's my kind of prediction here going on. But I don't like, why is Broken Matt Hardy, who is a legitimate draw, a legitimate beat, honestly, he's the biggest thing in their promotion right now from the moment they brought him in. Okay, so why are you wasting his heat, so to speak? Not his heel heat, but his wasting what he'll give you in the title so early. You should have had Broken Matt Hardy stalking the system for a month or two before this match happened, right? And maybe this would have been a good opportunity to maybe have Moose face. Moose face. I'm trying to think. Maybe bring in Rob Van Dam or something, or maybe Moose loses to Joe Hendry instead of Kazarian crushing Joe Hendry's push. I don't know. Anything but what they did. Now, mind you, the quality of the match itself was good. The story outcome with Matt coming back, and you have the Hardys back together because Matt basically ended the contract at AEW. And the Hardy factions being established, I'm okay with that. But the whole match itself, like using up Broken Matt Hardy as a character for just like nothing, basically, is stupid. So, and then the last match, which is in some ways the best match on the thing. Okay, now Jordan Grace she's not. I mean, she's been around a while, so she's not a brand new. Let's get Jordan Grace's age. Actually, let's make sure we know we got the right age for her. So she's 28, so she's still young. Okay, she's heading towards the prime of her career. I would say there's a lot of good development here. You can see she clearly needs to work on some skills in the ring. Okay, but she's still a pretty good wrestler. Okay. She knows how to do the big woman stick pretty well. Right. And her match in NXT Battleground where she walked out and faced Roxy Perez was one of the best women's matches of the year. Okay. And I know I'm prejudiced because I think Jordan Grace is attractive, and I think Roxy Perez is the most beautiful woman in wrestling since Alexa Bliss. I'm all on board for Roxy I'm a simp, right? But it was a great match. So now this match. Early on, the match was a little stupid. Tatum Paxley has a sort of style, like they reference that she's modeled on Daphne, who was a character from WCW and went over to TNA, like a sort of classic kind of crazy chick thing where she uses misdirection and she's goth looking and all that. I got that. It just didn't. A character like that, outside of a kayfabe storyline, doesn't work very well. All right, and she's the heel in this. The audience couldn't react to her as the heel because they have no idea about her, about how she works the crowd and whatever. So early on, that dynamic was in play where she wasn't generating in-match heat, right? So that they shifted away from her sort of deceiver tactics. It went right to the match itself. And that's when the match got really good. Okay. The actual wrestling match, like when it got away from, when it started having doing the our particular character style, heel character distractions and all, and just went straight out being a heel wrestler, it got really good. The outside interference was way less worse in this one. Like in they shouldn't have even bothered with the outside interference. I know they did to set this match up, okay, but the open challenge was enough for that. They set up the whole when Tatum ran in, and then Ash by Elegance ran to fight her, and then obviously Ash by Elegance is Jordan's next competitor. That's fine and all, okay. Said the word again. So this again, the actual match after the first 5 minutes was probably the best match of the night in some respects. Now, obviously, it can't be the best because it wasn't the beginning and end of the best match. Let me give a look-see here through this. I still think Kazarian versus Joe Hendry was the best complete match. Okay, now what would I have done differently here? I would not have sent Tatum Paxley to be the reciprocal NXT challenger to Jordan Grace. I mean, ideally, I would have sent Becky Lynch, and because Becky, she wants to be out for a while, so we can have her get injured by Jordan Grace or whatever. I don't think she's really injured. I think she has a kayfabe injury, not a real injury in WWE. But I mean, let's say you send Becky, she can afford to lose because she's an established legend. She can easily put Jordan over and create the pro. That would have been ideal. If not her, maybe send. Of course, you then send an obvious heel from WWE, a female wrestler, like maybe Io Sky. She can do a really good crazy evil woman match, and the fans know she's a bad guy. It would be good for both of them she could put Jordan, get the win, put her over, and Io looks good in a match where, anything like that. Because I just felt that this Tatum Paxley did the TNA audience know who she was. There was no buzz for it. They didn't react well to her until she started wrestling, and then she was capable of healing up as wrestling. Okay, so that's been my thoughts on TNA Against All Odds. If you guys have any questions, DJ Ryan G, if you're still there, if you have any wrestling questions before I log out, this is going to be a short video. Let me know. Anyone else out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening later. Like the video if you like. Dislike if you dislike. Share it out. Now, I will be doing a video like this for WWE Clash at the Castle when I watch it. Yeah, I'm just trying to give my thoughts on. Since I'm back into the wrestling, DJ RG, I want to actually do some little videos like this. Nothing big, extravagant. Just get my thoughts out there. Anyway, thanks, man, for listening. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike, share it out there, please. What I got coming up? My review of Greyhound is up a few days ago. That's a 2020 World War II film that's far better than I thought it would be. Based on a book by C.S. Fowler, who's the same guy who wrote the Horatio Hornblower stuff. I'll be on Roman Empire's channel for Acolyte episode 4 this Thursday. The Spam Colite. I'll be on Jacob Ironside's channel this Tuesday for Speed. We're doing Speed. We just did a great review of the original True Grit this past Tuesday. And other stuff coming out, as it were. Friday Pandemonium on Fridays, of course, with Jacob Ironside. Anyway, my name is Matt. Hope you had a great weekend. Peace and stay safe.